The most important part of a person's life is his career, and the preparation of a resume is the first step to it. The common way followed throughout the world in preparing a resume is to edit some other resume. Remember, a simple, neat and informative resume is the first requirement for a job. Welcome to EduGarnet. I am Kala Deepak. If you're planning to edit some other resume, then be very careful while editing. Even a small mistake in the resume can create a problem. Now let's check out the basic details that has to be included in a resume. Firstly, your name. Of course, your full name as it appears in your educational certificates or ID proofs. Name should be placed on the top because it is your name that the interviewer needs to know first. Now second, communication details. Communication details basically include your address, email ID and mobile number. If you have forgotten the password of your mail ID, it's better to create another one, because in most of the cases, the company may send your offer letter and other details to the mail ID that you have given in your resume. And if you don't have a mail ID, do create one. It takes just a few minutes. And avoid informal names for the mail ID that you're going to place in your resume. For example, redrose@gmail.com, loveyou@yahoo.com, etc. So it's compulsory to have a valid mail ID and mobile number in your resume. Do provide your own mobile number. Third, career objective. Usually, most of the students make career objective by referring some other resumes. That's okay, but make sure you can say what your career objective is if asked. If not in the same words as given in the resume, at least in your own words. Fourth, educational qualification. Placing educational qualification in a table always gives clarity. But remember to place the qualifications in a descending order, that is, recent first. You may think that you have completed your 10th first, so that should be placed first. No, it should be always recent first. That is, if you are a postgraduate holder, then you have to enter your post-graduation details first. Then comes the graduation, then 12th, and lastly 10th. You can include various columns in your educational table like your course, university or institute studied, specialization, year of passing and percentage of marks. These are the basic columns that are required for an educational table. But again, if you feel that your percentage of marks are quite low, then you can simply eliminate that particular column so that you can avoid your unnecessary tension. But if asked, then there is no way out. Please give your correct percentage. Fifth comes the work experience. If you are a fresher, then you can leave this section. But if you have any experience, then you will have to fill in this particular section. As in the case of educational qualification, here also you have to fix the recent first. Remember, there will be questions about your work experience, about your previous employer or your job, your duties and responsibilities, etc. And never say any negative comment about your previous employer. Sixth, hobbies. Hobbies is something that we would like to engage in during our free time. So, if asked about the hobby that we have placed in our resume, then we should be able to explain very well about it. So remember to place your own hobby in your resume. Seventh, positives. Whatever you feel as your positives, especially if it's in some way related to the job that you're applying for, then place it under the positives heading. Never mention anything about your negatives. But if asked, then just say one negative that in no way will affect your job and say it in such a way that you have already overcome it. Eighth, personal information. You have already mentioned your name and communication details at the beginning of the resume. So under the personal information section, you can include your parents' name, date of birth, passport number, your marital status, and if you're married, your spouse's name. Ninth, declaration. A resume is the document that we prepare about ourselves for the purpose of a job. So, under the declaration section, we are giving a promise that whatever details we have entered in the resume is correct. And the common declaration that is followed is, I hereby declare that the above furnished information is true to the best of my knowledge. 10th, reference. This is not a compulsory section. You need to fill the reference section only if asked for. A minimum of 2 references will be required. Usually, blood relations are not allowed. And remember to inform the persons whom you have placed as the reference the day before the interview itself, so that they will be able to give a good response about you if contacted. And at the end comes your signature, the place and date. With that, we come to the end of a resume. Now let's check out 3 golden tips that has to be kept in mind while preparing a resume. First, your resume should be truthful. All the information filled in should be correct. Second, make it simple and short. Third, no mistake. Not even a full stop or comma should be placed unnecessarily. Make sure of it before taking the printout. I hope that now you have got a clear idea about preparing a resume. Have a nice day. Thank you.